So we're going to do a bit of plank stuff today. So just working into the wrists a little bit. And it might be quite strong. So if there's any point where it's uncomfortable or painful, please come out of it. And you can modify it. If that means dropping the knee or coming onto the forearms, and just letting more people in. So just listen to your body and adapt in a way that is safe for your practice. And we're going to do a little bit on abs as well to start off with. So if you've got a block handy, that might be quite useful, or a cushion, just to sort of place it on the knees or between the legs when we're working into our abs. Right, so I've let people in. I'll keep an eye on the screen in case anybody else comes along. And we're going to start, just letting someone else in. And we're going to start by coming onto our backs. So bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide, or you can have the feet flat and the knees bent. And just close down the eyes, soften the face. And we're going to just come into the breathing for a few moments. So just place the hands on the belly. And we're going to breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sigh out. And again, in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sigh out. And now I just want you to breathe in all the way through the nose and breathe out all the way through the nose. Just bring your awareness into how you're feeling in this moment. Just think about what your body needs today. Think about what your mind needs as well. And as you breathe in, just feel the ribs expand. Feel that space in the back of the body as well. And just move your attention to the shoulders for a moment. It's going to let somebody else in. And when you come to the shoulders, I want you to take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can just release some tension from the shoulder area. Don't worry if you can't, but just see if you can. We're just going to take a couple more breaths here. And slowly, carefully draw the knees in together on the inhale. You're going to bring the arms to the side. And as you inhale, just lift the hips up, coming into your bridge pose. Start engaging the glutes. Engage the inner thigh muscles and the quads to make this a dynamic bridge pose. And I want you to shoot the hands up towards the sky. We're going to hold it here. And let's rotate the wrists in both directions. And come back. And we're going to open and close the hands. But like I said, we're going to do a bit of plank and side plank today. So we will be quite strong on the wrists. And release the fingers towards the sky. And let's stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Slowly come back to the mat. Bring the arms to the side. And this time we're going to lift that right foot. Oh, we've got a few latecomers, just letting somebody else in. And we're going to lift that right foot and place it on that left thigh. And we're going to come into our reclined pigeon pose. So I want you to just see where that right hip opens. Just let it do its thing. Try to keep the back nice and stable so we're not lifting off that left side. You might want to place a hand on top of that left hip. And now I want you to take the right hand and see if you can just draw a little bit more space in that right side. Keep that right foot nice and flexed. And next, I want you to thread the hands through, if that's available, around that left shin or that left thigh. And just breathe here for a few moments. And again, try to keep that lower back nice and stable on the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly release and bring that left foot back to the mat. Keep that right leg where it is. Bring the arms to the side. And we're going to inhale. We lift the hips, coming into bridge pose. You can release that right foot at any time. If you want to go further, you can release that right leg into the air. Keep the lift in the hips. Engage the glutes. And release. And slowly bring that right leg back to the mat. I'm going to take that left foot up this time. Bring it over that right thigh. And again, just see where it naturally opens. You can bring a hand on that right hip if you need for that stability. You can now take that left hand and see if you can open out that left hip. We're not forcing anything. And if you want, you can thread the arms through, take over the right thigh or the right shin. So this is quite a deep stretch into that left side. And you will feel it on the hip and also towards the glutes. Just notice if there's any difference on this side. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale to release. Just bring that right foot to the mat. Keep the left leg where it is, if that's available. Inhale as we lift up for our bridge pose. You can stay here. You can release that left foot, or you can bring that left leg up and hold it here. Engage the glutes and the core and release. And slowly come back to the mat. Bring the arms to the side. And we're going to inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. We're going to take 2 more. And release. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug and a gentle rock. We're going to come to stillness. Inhale, lift the forehead. Exhale to release. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. And again. And release. One more time, lift. Take hold of the big toes and open out into happy baby. Just take your version. You can use it to open up the whole body. You can bring the knees in towards the armpits. You can work into the hamstrings. And when you're ready, slowly release the hands. So we're going to bring the knees in together. Nice little squeeze. We're going to bring the arms to the side. I'm going to take the feet up and press them towards the ceiling. Flex the toes towards the face. We're going to point and flex. Point and flex. So take a few. Rotate the ankles in both directions. And you can also open and close the feet. And you can mirror it with the hands. And let's slowly start opening the legs out. And you can take a little rock. Slowly bring the legs back together. Bring the knees into the chest and a nice little squeeze. And release the feet to the mat. We're going to work on the abs for a few moments. So if you have a block handy, then just bring it near you. If you've got a little pillow or something, that might do as well. But what we're going to start off with is bringing the knees a little bit in towards the body. Place the block on the front of the knees like so. Bring the elbows to the block. And we're going to lift the chest. Now you could stay here. If you tap the abs, they are engaged. Otherwise, let's bring that right leg out and hold. Bring it in. Take the left leg out and hold. Find your point. And we're going to do 5 on each side. When you've done your set, then slowly release. Bring the feet to the mat. Just take 5 deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the knees in again and bring the block back to that position. We're going to bring the hands, the elbows, back to the block. You can lift the chest up. Take your version. If it's easy to leave the head on the mat, then do that. This time, we're going to bring that right leg and we're going to straighten it towards the sky and lower. And hold. Bring the knee back. Let's take that left leg up and lower, and bring the knee back. And we're going to do as many as you want on each side, but essentially 5 on each side. So this is a little bit more challenging than the last one. So you can do the other one if that's preferred for you today. When you've done your set, release. And we'll just rest for a few breaths. The next what we're going to do is we're going to bring that block or the cushion between the legs. So you can bring it between the upper legs, and that's just going to engage the thighs and the legs. So you're going to come to hands by the side, feet pointing up towards the ceiling, and we're going to take our leg raises. And when you come up, you can add a little lift as well. You can also take it out to the sides to work into the oblique. So that's quite a nice stretch. Just do whatever combination you need. Wherever you're at, let's just do 5 more. And when you're ready, just release the block, place it to the side, and we're just going to rest there for a few breaths. And what we're going to do next is we're going to come into our twist. So we're going to bring the arms to the sides. We're going to inhale as we lift the hips, shift them slightly to the right, and let's twist over to the left. Really feel that breath in that right side body. Draw that right shoulder towards the mat. A couple more breaths. When you're ready, slowly bring the knees back to center. Take a few moments, notice how the body's feeling. And in your own time, bring the arms out wide. We're going to lift the hips up. We're going to shift them over to the left slightly as we rotate, twist over to the right. Feel that breath all the way in and all the way out. Let's take a couple more breaths. And we're going to inhale as we lift up to center. Let's take a nice big stretch. Take hold of opposite elbows. And I want you to lift the chest off the mat. And if it's available, you can lift the legs and float. The 3, the 2, for 1, and release. Nice big stretch. And in your own time, let's roll over onto our bellies. So just bring yourself back onto the mat. If you've moved, bring the hands towards the shoulders. We're going to press the tops of the feet in as we inhale and lift that chest off, coming into our up dog. Or you can come into the forearms, whatever you need right now. If you've got any lower back issues, it might be nice to just stay on the forearms, just to create that space in the lower back. Take a deep inhale and exhale to release. And just bring yourself back onto the mat for a few breaths. We're going to move into plank shortly. Just take this opportunity to rest the wrists. When you're ready, we're going to slowly make our way into plank pose. So have the hands spread out nice and wide. Draw the heels away from the body. Now you can stay here. You can drop the knees. All we're going to do is we're just going to muck about with plank for a few moments. So I want you to lift that right hand, tap the chest, bring it back. Left hand to the chest, bring it back. And keep going both sides. It's quite strong. And don't worry if you wobble or fall out of it. But what I want you to try and do is be honest with yourself. And if you're struggling to keep that lower back nice and stable, and if you're losing that plank alignment, then either try, see what you can do, or drop the knees. So it's better to do it on the knees with a strong shape than to sort of do it a bit half-heartedly off the knees. We're going to come back to plank. We're going to hold it here. The 3, 2, and on 1, let's start lowering down. Engage the triceps and release all the way. Arms by the side. So we're just going to rest here for a few moments before we come back into plank. When we come into plank next, we're going to be working on the legs. So slowly bring yourself back into plank pose. This time we're going to bring the left leg out and in. Right leg out and in. Just follow through a few of these. And again, pay attention to the lower back and the pelvis. You want to try and keep it nice and stable. Just take 2 more on each side. Come back to center, hold plank for 3, for 2, for 1, and let's lower. So work the triceps and slowly come to the back. And we're going to do 1 more exercise in a few breaths. And what we're going to do next is coming onto forearm plank. Just take a couple more nice big breaths here. When you're ready, let's come into forearm plank. So you can have the hands together. You can have the hands shoulder distance apart. It's entirely up to you, whatever works for you. And then lift yourself off the mat. I'm going to take that left knee, bring it to the left elbow, and release. And the right, and release. So just take a few on each side. When you're ready, come back to forearm plank, and let's hold it here. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly come all the way to the mat. And just come into a resting pose for a few breaths. We're going to come into our tabletop position in a few moments. So just take this time to rest. So let's just take a couple more breaths here. When you're ready, just tuck the toes under and bring yourself up into your tabletop position. So just check yourself here, hands spread out nice and wide, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. So we're going to take our cat-cow breath. So tilt that pelvis towards the mat, draw the belly down, bring the shoulders in towards the spine, and the gaze comes up. And as you exhale, reverse that motion. So take your time. You can take a few little side to side, figure of 8, whatever you need. And then slowly bring yourself back to your neutral spine. And we're going to take that right arm out parallel with the mat. Left leg comes up. Try to line up the hips. So engage the glutes. Work into that lower back. And then we're going to slowly drop the left foot to the mat. Keep the toes tucked under. And we're going to come back and we're going to twist over to the right. And we're going to come forward. And this time, we're going to thread that right arm under the left armpit. Bring that right shoulder to the mat. You can stay here, or you can straighten that left hand, and you can lift that left leg off the mat, working into the pelvis and the lower back. So it's your choice. And then we're going to slowly bring that left hand back, and inhale to lift, twist it over to the right. I'm going to take one more, thread it through, Right shoulder comes to the mat. Option to lift that left leg, it's your choice. And release. Bring that left hand back. And one more twist over to the right. Make it a nice big heart opener. And release. Bring that right hand back. Bring that left knee back. I'm going to take that left arm out this time. Option to bring that right leg up. Engage the core. And let's slowly drop that right foot to the mat. We're going to have a nice twist over to the left. Let's come forward. Thread that left arm under the right armpit. So we're on the left shoulder now. Option to lift that right leg up. So you need to take that right hand forward. And release. Let's come back up. Left arm comes up for a nice twist. Let's take one more. Thread it through. Lift. And release. And one more time we come up. Nice big twist. And release. And let's bring the hands back to the mat. And I want you to slowly come back to sitting on the heels. You can tuck the toes under if you want. We're going to inhale as we lift the arms, draw the shoulders up. Exhale to release. Let's take 3 more. And on the next inhale, I want you to lift the bum up. I want the hips to come over the knees. Take the arms all the way up. Take hold of the right wrist and the left hand and stretch over to the left. And back to center, switch it, take it over to the right. Breathe in. Lift all the way up. Take the shoulders down. Few shoulder rolls. Both directions. When you're ready, slowly bring the hands to the mat, tuck the toes under, and we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. So let's pedal the feet, bend the knees. We're going to inhale as we lift the heels, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. One more time. And release. And let's take 3 lion's breaths here. Breathe into the back of the body as well. So keep it nice and strong. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, nice and strong in the triceps. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. Just come to the top of the mat in your ragdoll pose. Just swing it out for a few moments. Do whatever you need. When you're ready, let's slowly start coming all the way up. Keep a little bend in the knees if you need to. And shoot the arms up overhead. Take the tiptoes if that's available. And release. Just shake it all out. We're going to come into our mountain pose. So you can bring the feet together or keep them a bit apart. Lift the toes up. Spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale, let's fold forward from there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step back into plank pose. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, let's bend the elbows, draw them in towards the ribs. Open the heart. Downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step back into plank pose. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, lower it down through chaturanga. Open the heart. Downward facing dog. We're going to inhale as we lift that right leg in the air. We're going to take it out to the right and in. Right and in. Keep a nice strong back. Bring it back, lift it up, bend the knee, bring the knee to nose. Tap the mat. Tap, tap. Bring it back. Let's bring the knee to the right elbow. Let's tap the elbow. Tap, tap. And lift. Let's take it over to the left elbow. Just tap, tap, tap. And lift. And this time I want you to bend that right knee and bring it towards the top of the mat and come into your pigeon pose. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Use it as a chance to rest the arms as well. We are going to move into a little bit of plank in a moment. So remember to protect your glutes here. If you find there's a massive gap under that right glute, put a cushion or a blanket underneath it. Come onto the chest, your twist. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly lift up. Bring the hands to the mat. Tuck the left toes under. And I want you to shoot that right leg in the air. So coming into three-legged dog. You can either drop it or work through a three-legged vinyasa flow. And we're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Right, from here, let's spiral it forward into plank pose. I want you to lift that left hand off the mat, coming into a side plank. Remember, you can modify this. You can drop a knee or a leg. And we're going to bring knee to elbow and lift. And then from here, I want you to come into a plank tree. So bring that left foot wherever it's comfortable, above the knee, below the knee. And then we're going to release that left hand to the mat. Keep the foot where it is. Lift that right hand up. Come into a side plank the other way. Open out the left leg. And slowly come all the way down to the mat. Bring that left foot in to the inside of that right thigh. We're going to bring the hands either side. Inhale to lift. Flex that right foot. Exhale, hinge forward. Hamstring stretch. Remember, as you inhale, lift and lengthen through the upper body. Exhale. And we're going to inhale all the way up. Let's take that left hand behind us. Shoot the right arm up as we come into a nice baby well thing. Slowly come back to the mat. And bring yourself back into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 lines breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands, step or walk feet to hands. We're going to inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. So just take a few breaths here. We've got about 8 minutes to go because I know we started a bit late. So we're going to do that on the other side. And remember, you can modify the pose. So in side plank can be quite strong and quite challenging. So you can always drop a knee, drop a leg, do something slightly different. Let's come back to Tadasana. Arms by the side. You're going to inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it back to plank. Nice deep inhale. Let's go through chaturanga. So elbows in towards the ribs. Downward facing dog. We're going to lift that left leg up. Keep a nice strong pelvis as we bring it out to the side. And bring it back up. Knee to nose. Tap, tap, tap. Lift it back. Let's take knee to the left elbow. Tap, tap, tap. Lift it back. And let's take it over to the right. We're going to tap, tap, tap. Lift it up. And this time we're going to come into pigeon pose on the other side. So the idea is to get that left lower leg parallel with the short edge of the mat. Doesn't matter if it's not there, mine isn't. Just protect that knee and protect that left glute. So I'm going to come into the forearms if you want. Just take a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, you're going to come back onto the flat hands if we're not there. Tuck the right toes under. And we're going to shoot back into three-legged dog. Then you've got the option of coming forward, three-legged plank, and taking a three-legged vinyasa. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Let's come forward into plank. And this time, we're going to take that right hand off, coming into side plank. So this is my weaker side. I'm going to bring knee to nose. This time, knee to elbow, sorry. And this time, I'm going to release that right foot above the knee, below the knee, wherever it works. And slowly bring the right hand to the mat. Sweep it through to the other side. Lift that left hand off. Straighten that right leg. Let's slowly come all the way down. We're just going to do the other side. So press that right foot in. Nicely grounded, arms by the side. Inhale to lift. And exhale, let's come forward. So remember, when you inhale, I want you to feel that space here in the upper body, in the back. Really feel that space. Take a hand there if it helps. Just take a couple more breaths here. We're going to slowly come up when we inhale. Take the right hand behind. Inhale as we lift the hips. Lift that left arm, coming into our little baby wild thing on this side. And when you're ready, slowly coming back into downward facing dog. We're nearly at the end, guys, so that's really good. And we're going to come into down dog. Just a couple more breaths. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands, step or walk feet to hands. We're going to inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Take a few shoulder rolls. You're going to bring the feet a little bit further apart. And I want you to inhale as you dip and sweep, coming into your chair pose. Press the feet into the mat. Come onto the balls of the feet if you want. Just keep breathing. Slowly coming down, down, down. All the way. Just bring the bum onto the mat. You're going to bring the feet together. Knees out wide. You're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen through the upper body. And exhale as we hinge forward from the hips. So again, you can take your hand there. Fill that space. Exhale as we come forward. Let's take one more nice deep inhale. And exhale, just let it go. When you're ready, let's slowly inhale. Coming up. Draw the knees in together. Let's slowly come all the way down for our final Shavasana. We'll be here for about a minute or so. When you're ready, we're going to start deepening the breath. Let's slowly start wiggling the fingers and the toes. Start rotating the ankles and the wrists both directions. I want you to take a nice big stretch. And in your own time, let's all meet in a comfortable cross-legged position. So just do whatever you need for a few breaths. And we'll slowly meet. When you're in your seated position, try to keep the eyes closed and the face soft. And we'll bring the hands to heart center. And we'll end today's practice with our 3 clearing breaths. You can bring the hands up to the third eye. And I want to thank you for today's practice. I read a quote last night, and I'm not going to probably quote it back correctly, but it was just basically about where to invest your time and your energy. And it basically said something along the lines of, I may not know what love is, but I certainly know what it isn't. And that, in the very least, is a good place to start. The inner light in me will always honor the inner light in you. Thank you for today's practice. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you on Thursday.
So much.
Bye.
Take care, loves. Bye.